Let's make this concrete. Imagine one of your employees. Let's call him James. James works in operations. He's not sick. He shows up to work, does his job, and his annual checkups looks mostly fine. But every afternoon, around 3 p.m., his energy crashes. He grabs a sugary snack. Dinner is late. Sleep isn't great. Nothing here triggers a medical visit. But over months, the small patterns slowly turn into fatigue, weight gain, unstable glucose, and eventually sick leave. Most corporate wellness programs don't see this stage at all because they're built around events, checkups, wellness days, benefits. But behavior rarely fails inside clinics. It fails at 9:30 p.m. when someone is tired, when they're hungry, when no clinician is present. And that's where deterioration begins. James receives an invitation to join the program via WhatsApp. There's no new app, no password, no extra system to learn. And that matters a lot because friction kills engagement before behavior change even begins. During onboarding, we ask a few simple questions, not clinical questions, behavioral ones. For example, when during your day does your energy usually drop? When are healthy habits hardest to maintain? What tends to derail you most often? James tells us afternoons after work when he's tired. And that context matters more than a lab value because lab values describe risk and context predicts behavior. So this becomes his behavioral baseline, not just what his health numbers are, but when behavior drift is most likely to happen. The system doesn't say improve your lifestyle. Instead, it offers two small options. For example, a 10-minute walk after dinner or reducing evening portion size slightly. One goal, 7 days. Not transformation, not perfection. Just small, repeatable movement. And this constraint is intentional because scope reduction increases follow through. And long term health stability is built through repetition, not intensity. Now, let me ask the room a quick question. If you had to guess, when do most employees report their energy dropping during the day? Usually, people say afternoon, after lunch, late evening. And that's exactly what we see. So the assistant checks in at the right time with a simple question. For example, how was your energy today? Or did you manage to achieve your goal? Steady, slight dip, low. And one thing that matters here is how small the interaction is. Most of these responses take about 10 seconds because this isn't meant to become another task. It's a light feedback loop that helps people stay aware of patterns. Because this is exactly where many wellness systems go silent and where behavioral drift begins. After the check-in, James indicates that his energy has been sometimes low. The assistant asks a simple follow-up. Would you like to record a short commitment for yourself this week? This might seem like a small step, but it serves an important behavioral purpose. And when people state an intention in their own words, follow-through increases. So James records a short voice note, not to a clinician, not to HR, to himself. He says, I really want to improve my energy this week. I'll take a short walk after dinner. This message stays in his chat history. It becomes a personal reminder of intent, not a rule imposed from outside. Later that week, James wonders something very simple. Can I eat rice tonight? It's a very small question, but chronic deterioration rarely comes from dramatic events. It comes from thousands of small decisions. And instead of guessing, he just asks, using a voice note. The assistant responds immediately, not with a lecture, not with medical jargon, just practical guidance. For example, portion size, timing, and food pairing. Reducing friction in these moments reduces cumulative behavioral error. The goal is not perfect decisions. It's reducing drift in high-frequency moments. One evening, James uploads a photo of his dinner: rice and chicken. Now notice something interesting. The assistant doesn't shame him. It doesn't give a lecture. It makes one small suggestion. Reduce the rice slightly tomorrow. Add vegetables. One correction, not 10. Because too many corrections reduce follow-through. In behavior change, precision matters less than repeatability. And over time, small corrections compound. A slightly smaller portion today, a slightly better plate next week. And these micro adjustments gradually stabilize health patterns. Periodically, the assistant asks, how has your energy levels been this week? Stable, sometimes low, often low. Even imperfect self-reports matter a lot, not because of one answer, but because of patterns over time. We are not chasing perfect data here. We are identifying directional movement that creates a behavioral trajectory, not just a snapshot of one doctor visit. Sometimes signals appear, for example, persistent fatigue or worsening readings. The system does not diagnose. It doesn't change medication. It flags risks and prompts escalation. A clinician will follow up. This prevents silent deterioration because most health problems don't appear suddenly. They develop quietly over time.